From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. As Tropical Storm Bertha tracks westward this week, torrential rain, flooding, gusty thunderstorms, and building seas are expected along the central Gulf Coast, with landfall anticipated in Louisiana. A second landfall along the upper Texas coast is possible. Thunderstorms associated with Bertha remained spread over several hundred miles, with most of the activity over the Gulf. The tropical storm has gained some strength since Monday evening, with maximum sustained winds up to 50 miles per hour as of Wednesday morning. The storm still has time over the open waters of the Gulf, where some additional strengthening is possible. There is a remote chance it briefly reaches hurricane strength. While much of the Gulf Coast was sunny to start off the week, conditions are expected to deteriorate, especially as the tropical storm drifts westward along the coast. After moving onshore in southeastern Louisiana sometime later today, Bertha is forecast to meander back toward the southern Louisiana coast on Thursday, briefly emerge over the northern Gulf, and then move back onshore in Texas by the end of the week. Heavy rain, enough to cause urban flooding, will spread westward along the Interstate 10 corridor, especially across southern Louisiana. While the storm would lose wind intensity relatively quickly after interacting with land, most gusts will occur in spiral bands, squalls, and thunderstorms. Interests along the Interstate 10 corridor should prepare for tropical storm force wind gusts of 40 to 60 miles per hour, with an AccuWeather local storm max gust of 75 miles per hour, which is hurricane force. Torrential rain would be less likely to reach well inland over Texas with its march along the coast that takes the storm all or partially over southern Louisiana beforehand. Storm surge is generally expected to range from 1 to 3 feet, but could be higher if the storm strengthens significantly. The AccuWeather local storm max surge is 5 feet. A more concerning scenario for Texas would develop if the storm track shifts just south of Louisiana for a time later on this week. Should the storm travel well to the southwest, which is unlikely at this point, the Texas Hill Country may be especially vulnerable to downpours due to saturated ground and infrastructure damaged by the catastrophic flooding last week. Brewing tropical storms often produce severe thunderstorms capable of spawning tornadoes and waterspouts. Surf will steadily build much of this week from the Florida west coast to the Texas coast, increasing wave energy and raising the strength and frequency of dangerous rip currents. As wave heights build, the risk of overwash on low-lying coastal roads will also increase. At this time, there appears to be a minimal threat to offshore petroleum rigs, which are designed to withstand major hurricanes, but AccuWeather meteorologists will be closely monitoring the progress of the storm and will provide updates on its intensity-based track. Shifting focus now to the mid-Atlantic region of the U.S., dangerous thunderstorms are forecast to redevelop on Wednesday, just a day after severe weather unleashed widespread flooding and damage across the region. Reports of damaging winds stretched from Kentucky into New York as severe thunderstorms raced eastward Tuesday, with a handful of tornadoes also reported in Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. In response to Tuesday's storms, West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey has declared a state of emergency for all 55 counties as communities were impacted by flooding and storm damage. Overall, a swath of 3 to 6 inches of rain fell across north-central West Virginia over 12 hours. Along Sand Run Creek in West Virginia, the water level surged to more than 10.5 feet Tuesday evening, shattering the previous record crest of 8.3 feet and reaching major flood stage before receding into the minor flood stage. The Tygart Valley River is also expected to reach major flood stage at 25 feet. Torrential downpours and frequent lightning will continue to affect a broader area from the Ohio Valley to the mid-Atlantic after Tuesday's severe weather and significant rainfall. The flooding threat will then shift into parts of the southeast from Wednesday through Friday. Rain may fall fast enough to overwhelm storm drains and trigger street flooding. In suburban and rural areas, rapidly rising water can quickly cause flash flooding among small streams. Rainfall rates of 2 inches per hour or more are possible in the most intense storms. You should never drive through flooded roads. Water is often deeper than it appears, road surfaces may be washed away, and conditions can worsen rapidly. Just 1 to 2 feet of moving water can sweep a vehicle away. Floodwater can also disable a vehicle's electrical system, trapping occupants inside. Just remember the phrase, "Turn around, don't drown." By Wednesday, the severe weather threat will shift southward, focusing on southern Delaware and southeastern Maryland, into central and southeastern Virginia and central and eastern North Carolina. The primary severe weather threats for Wednesday will be damaging wind gusts and even some isolated tornadoes. That's all for now. You can find more regional forecasts and science-based articles at AccuWeather.com. And for your local forecast at your fingertips 24/7, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day, stay weather aware, and I'll be back tomorrow with more from AccuWeather.